There's different types of connecting with the audience. There's character connection, and generally people connect if someone has experienced an undue trauma. You know, when something happens to somebody that they didn't deserve, people go, oh, you know, you connect in that way. There's also for someone who does comedy, there's this whole other weird connection that it's almost like a behind the eyes kind of connection that comedians know how to develop with an audience that sometimes dramatic actors can lose. You know, so there's a lot of elements of connective tissue in this role. It was a lot of research. Studied POWs, prisoners of war, and with people who had been in solitary confinement in prisons and things. And it's just fascinating research of what happens to the human mind in these types of situations. So I would say it's the most research I've ever done on a role. Yeah, well, it's Akiva Goldsman and Mark Protasevich, they did the heavy lifting with writing the script. It's like all that stuff was in there already. The experiences and how the mental deterioration of Robert Neville was laid out was already there, and I guess the only difficult aspect for me was understanding it. You know, I'm a people person, so I'm always around people. I'm always loud. I'm always with 15 people, and to go to that was a difficult comprehension for me. You know, I think it is an aggressive artistic attempt at this concept. I think that it's all of the elements of the big, blockbuster, big mythological idea, and then there's at the center of it just the small art house performance and storyline. So I think that if nothing else, it's going to be something you've never seen before. I feel like an athlete in his prime right now. You know, I feel like acting is it's almost a muscle. You know, that if you lay off too long, you're going to come back and sloppy, and your timing's going to be a little off. And I just feel like my machine is honed. I'm in great the physical and mental and spiritual condition, and I am extremely excited about the possibilities of the next 5 years in my career. I think I'm going to win a couple championships. You know, it's more than anything that when you get nominated, you get to spend time with people that are at the top of the artistic endeavor that you've chosen for your life. So to be able to spend time with some of the greats, I met Akiva Goldsman, and there was Steven Spielberg, and it's Mr. Iñárritu, and it's a beautiful time to expand as an artist. So, and anytime you can get the nod from the big boy, you'll take it. Yeah, it's for me, it's really basic. If you set your priorities, you start at the top, and every day you start at your first priority and you work your way down, and when it's time to go to sleep, you go to sleep and you don't worry about whatever you missed. And you wake up the next day and start at the top of your priorities again, and you just keep going till you don't have energy. And that to me, that works it works very well. And I just have to make sure that I keep my priorities in order, because you don't want to slip and be dealing with number 8 on your priority list and you haven't dealt with number 3 yet. Oh no, to me, it's everything. How do people react to the film? Some people look at box office as money. And to me, box office isn't about money as much as it is about the acceptance of what you've created. And for me, I have no interest in making movies that people don't see. So I want to have the first movie that everybody on earth has seen. There's a connection to stories. There's a connection to cinema that I had as a child that I want to create that for people. For the most part, I enjoy people. So I don't. That's rarely an issue for me. I like having good times and people. And when I see a crowd of people, it looks like the ocean on a hot summer day. You guys want to dive in and swim around. So it's people generally approach me with love and kindness. So that hasn't been a problem for me. I think that's a huge element of how we develop as our personal journeys. That's a big part of developing into a complete integrated human being. Being able to connect with other people is everything. That in the same way, making a movie and is an attempt to connect, is an attempt to speak to people. Like generosity and compassion also come into play with those similar ideas of how do we connect, how do we expand, how do we make each other's lives better.